Hi guys. So I just wanted to give you an overview of our end-to-end process that we take clients through who want to go through a data transformation journey. And it might be useful for you if you're looking to implement one yourself within your business, or you're just curious to learn how we work. And I'll just give you a kind of overview of how we do it here. So there's four main stages. I'll walk through the steps of each one, and I'll also tell you a little bit about the value of each stage. But it really starts with stage zero for us, which is really kind of pre-sale. And the idea of this stage is to quantify an initial consultation, the extent of the data challenges or opportunities that the client has. And ultimately, we're trying to see if there's a fit. If there's not, that's fine. We only want to go where we can add a lot of value. But if there is, what we do is we move on to the value workshop. So the value workshop is a 2-hour structured diagnostic call where we bring together key members of the client's IT and business. And we're sort of trying to build the business case for any data transformation initiative. So we'll be asking questions like, what are the business objectives that are underpinning the data transformation journey? What are the key sort of measures and, like KPIs and metrics that they'll be using to gauge the success of those objectives? And how able are they to get data right now to inform the success of those objectives? So let me explain that. Say, for example, you're a manufacturer and you really want to improve operational efficiency. You might want to improve yields, reduce costs, etc. Those are really sort of powerful objectives, and sitting underneath them will be loads of KPIs and metrics like scrap rate, downtime, etc. It'll be different from business to business. Then what we'll try and understand is how easily can the team get that data now to understand if they're on track or not. And if it's a really manual and laborious process where the data is completely missing, that gives us a really good understanding of the kind of value a data transformation could add. Once we have that, we create our proposal, and if the client doesn't know where they want to start, and just going back, so pre-sale, then the value will be understanding and quantifying the data challenges and opportunities, understanding our approach so they can see if there's a fit, and then to get clarity on next steps. We then give them that proposal, and it's up to them if they want to go ahead or not. If they didn't know where they wanted to start, and it's a bit overwhelming, we then do the technical assessment. So the goal of the technical assessment is to get global alignment on data goals between the IT and business. It's to understand the most cost-effective architecture, and it's also to create a prioritized roadmap based on your biggest bang for buck projects and your most valuable business areas. And the reason we need to do this and not just jump in and start developing is there are a million different ways to skin the cat. And depending on your budget and what you're trying to achieve, any number of these could be the right solution or the wrong one. And what we want to prevent is you picking an architecture that's going to be fine in the short term, but will fall apart later on, or it's going to be over-engineered, really difficult to maintain, and essentially be a sledgehammer to crack a walnut, which could waste tens of thousands of pounds and months of effort. So we'll be looking at three sort of components when we're finding your best fit solution: how data is extracted, how it's transformed and consolidated, and then your available options for analysis. So just to recap, we're going to get the best architecture for your business, and we're also going to have an actionable roadmap starting with your biggest bang for buck projects first. The next stage after that is business and data analysis. Now, going back to pre-sale, if in that value workshop, it was really clear that the business has a priority project and he doesn't want to think about anything else, he doesn't want to think about data on a global scale, and they just want to zoom in on that, we might skip the technical assessment and go straight to business and data analysis. But it has to be done before any development takes place. And the reason for that is if you skip requirements, or you go too light on them, what you often find is you get into development and a lot of stuff was missed, and that ends up requiring a lot of rework, which leads to delays and ultimately failure of the project. Also, especially on a greenfield project, the first time you pull data in, there might be all kinds of issues that you never anticipated before. So, for example, you told us that you wanted to do an analysis of sales or customer performance, And then we look at the data and we're finding loads of duplicates. The same customers in the database 20 times. Maybe there's formatting issues. So at this stage, when we're doing the business analysis, we're getting agreement and detailing that as a specification in terms of what must be required, but then we're digging into the data as well and rectifying any issues. So the value at this stage, we get agreement on what has to be delivered and we document it. We analyze and we rectify any data quality issues, and then we get a detailed specification and a project plan to deliver the solution. And it's worth noting that the client can jump off the train at any stage, and there's value at any stage. So if you decide that actually you want to go and use another development partner, or you want to do it in-house yourself, I mean, we hope that you choose us, but you're able to do that. So we play back to the client, and again, they have the choice if they want to go ahead or not. If they do, we submit the letter of engagement, the invoice, and the prerequisites. So there's going to be a lot of stuff we need to get in place before the work can start. We'll need a project sponsor from your side. We'll need a product owner. So that's a subject matter expert who helps us ensure that we're delivering exactly what is required, and they'll be meeting with the development team frequently. We might need virtual machines set up so we can access your network, all that stuff. We then do the project initiation workshop with the relevant stakeholders in our team, and play back everything, the project plan, the objectives of the project, the meetings that will be required, the communication plan, and the standard reports we'll be sending out, and we get all of that set up, and then we get into delivery. And obviously that is a whole process in itself, just as BA is and just as a technical assessment, but it gives you an overview. So before I talk about handover and training, just looking at the value here, the project is taken end to end, and it's done so with a dream team of our technical experts who've been specifically chosen based on your requirements to make sure you get exactly what you need, but also people from your business as well, because no one knows your business better than you. So it's really key that we get this sort of dream team together. We try and minimize the effort and time requirement on your side. It might be a 15-minute meeting or a day or something like that. And best practice is always guaranteed. So our senior team are the top 1% of Microsoft BI Stack developers, and anyone we bring in has been thoroughly vetted by us, and all work is double and triple checked to make sure that it's following the best practice. And then obviously you get the benefits of whatever the solution is. So if it's a case that we've developed a Power App, you're going to get the automation benefits there. If it's the first sort of segment of your data warehouse, you're going to get the consolidation and data quality benefits there. If it's a Power BI report, you're going to get all the insight benefits there. And pretty much everything we deliver will have some form of automation and insight benefits that weren't previously there before. So we close the project down, and we sort of celebrate the success of it, and then we go into training. Now, training is super important because we want to make sure we're not just implementing the technology, but we're also creating capability with the client as well, so that they can own that solution and build on it themselves. And training can be as thorough as you like, but we recommend, at the very least, we do a thorough handover of the solution and show you how to use it so the benefits can be achieved. But then we can build deeper capability through bespoke training based on the learning outcomes that you desire. So if they're a semi-technical team and you're wanting them to become the de facto BI team, we can do some very thorough training based on that, on sort of the more advanced techniques and approaches to BI development. If they're just business users that need to be able to self-serve intelligence and create basic reports, we can do some more rudimentary training around that. But then what's really interesting is we can make training and development an ongoing thing within the business. And that's through either we refer you to our e-learning partner, Enterprise DNA, who have one of the most comprehensive e-learning platforms on the market for the whole Power Platform. So people can learn at their own pace. Or we can offer mentorship as well to really make training stick. So this will take the place of a clinic that happens sort of once a week or once a fortnight, where your chosen student group meets with one of our experts and they bring their real world challenges, and the expert can help them there and then on the call provide assurance and refer them to other training materials if they're seeing sort of skill discrepancies in very particular areas, like the way they're writing DAX or the way they're modeling their reports. And then it's the client choice. I mean, we'll have created a roadmap for you during that assessment stage. So chances are there might be a few more projects to do. And if there are, we go all the way back to the BA stage, and then the process continues until every business function has the technology they need and also the skills they need to be truly data driven. So thank you very much. That's a very high level overview. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're curious to learn what the data opportunities are within your business, we're always open to providing free initial consultations. So please get in touch if that would be of interest.